This week we are back doing the Thursday Murder Club, the movie this time. I'm Jamie Livingston.
And I'm Sarah Lyles, and we are so approachable. All right.
I've been waiting for this.
I have too. I'm so excited to actually talk about the comparisons of this because we have a lot to say.
I think we do. I really enjoyed the movie. I will say I fell asleep watching it, and that's not a testament to the movie itself. I have been so tired. I started a new job, and it is a lot different than what I'm used to. So I have been very tired at night. So I pulled it back up and I rewatched the last half. So I do have a full sense of what was in this movie, but I did fall asleep.
Well, as you can hear in my voice, school started back up. And so all my excitement goes with my voice. So
you know what? We're here for it. Down low. We're here for it.
The sexy rasp. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this movie, we talked about the book, and we both rated this book quite high. We both gave it a 4.5. So it was a book that we enjoyed. We loved the cozy vibes and the characters in this one. And so we want to see if the movie pulled it off.
Right. The Netflix can't even say that word. Adaptation, right?
Yes.
And so how well did they do getting it from a book to a movie? Because not always is it well done.
No. And I have high expectations for this one going in. We talked about it being Steven Spielberg's company. Am I on the right movie? I feel like that's what it was. And Christopher Columbus was the actual director.
Yep.
So there was a lot going on here, and the cast was a bunch of really famous people. So maybe let's start there. Do we think they nailed the characters?
I think they did a really good job. So I'm curious, before we go in deeper, your favorite in the book was Elizabeth and mine Joyce. Is that still the same?
Yeah. I really liked Helen Mirren as Elizabeth. I can picture that. I liked it.
Yeah, and I have to jump on with you and say after watching the movie, I liked Elizabeth better in the movie.
Well, and I think that's what I loved Joyce and her voice, and that we got her diaries in the book, but it fell flat for me in the movie because we didn't get that. She was still very quirky and very cute with
The
passing
baking.
out cakes and all the fun. She was still this very cute character, but I really enjoyed having her personal thoughts in her diary. So I thought that Elizabeth captured it well in the movie.
And I feel like we didn't get, like you were saying, a lot of depth. I feel like all the depth of Joyce was completely lost in translation. And again, it's hard, I imagine, to transcribe someone's thoughts and their diary into a movie. So, they did what they could well.
Well, we questioned that in our book club discussion.
Yes.
How are they going to be able to do this? And I kind of wish they had the narrator. I wish they would have had Joyce doing some of the narrating in between things, but I can see why they didn't. They also took a lot of things out of this book.
Well, and they changed a lot. A lot of characters. Speaking of characters, look at Ron. I imagined him being a little bit rougher around the edges than he was. There was more humor in him. I enjoyed him in both of them, but I really enjoyed him more in the movie.
Ron he's the one character that I feel like didn't fit. Ibrahim, sure. Joyce, perfect. Elizabeth, perfect. And I love Pierce Brosnan, but that is not what I was picturing when I was reading the book. So that one was a little off for me. So I enjoyed Pierce Brosnan's portrayal, but it took me a minute to be like, oh, that's Ron. They didn't line up. And then with his son, I didn't really see family resemblance, or I was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Well, and they kind of changed his son's, Jason's storyline too. Even with him sleeping with Ian's wife. And so all of those things, because I think in the book it was Tinder that he was on Tinder on a date. And so he still was this playboy, but they did change his story just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So we liked our main characters for the most part. Do you think any of them was exactly spot on what you were thinking?
Not exactly how I was thinking. I think if I wouldn't have read the book, I would have thought all the characters were perfect in their role. But none of them I'm like, oh, wow. I guess Joyce, kind of her cute baking. But again, there was just no depth to her. So if I were to say like anyone that I thought was kind of similar, maybe Joyce.
What about Chris and Donna?
Oh, yeah.
Did you like their portrayals?
I mean, Chris was a little bit more yuck than I...
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I didn't imagine him that way. I mean, Donna was fun. I liked her. She was kind of, like wowed me a little bit in her way because she was really good. She did a good job.
I really liked Donna, and especially at the beginning. I remember from the book when she comes in and is really bombarded by all of the old people, and they're like, we don't want to hear about door locks. And she was like looking at her note cards like she was guilty and like, well, I don't know what I'm going to talk about then. But I loved Donna, and like you, I did not picture Chris as that oafish, maybe, like just a schmuck.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was portrayed as always eating candy bars, needed to lose a couple pounds. So I could see that.
I guess when they're sitting on the couch and he's in the middle eating the cake, I guess that's also pretty similar to the book when they're like sitting there talking. And so in that moment, maybe that's where I didn't really read into that too much to be like, oh, he's not as like, I don't know, well-to-do, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, Ian and Tony. So Ian Bentham was one of the characters that I was looking forward to. I think in my brain, when we had previewed this, I thought that David Tennant was going to be Chris, not Ian Bentham. And so when he came out as Ian Bentham, I was like, oh no, he's the bad guy. And then he was a detestable character. Like he was just this slimy, gross person, which I know him from Doctor Who, and I love him for that. But then he has played some like icky people since then. And so it wasn't like the heartwarming reunion that I had hoped.
But I think he did a great job
did.
at his character because he only had really a small part in the movie. And so in his small part, he did a good job acting it out like he didn't care when they came to that town hall, the meeting. And so I think he did well.
Yeah. What did you think about Tony Curran having a relative there? And like his story arc was very different.
Very, because even the way he was killed and the reason why he was killed was different, which I get you can only do so much in 2 hours maybe, but that did change kind of the storyline because now he has a family member. He's not just invested financially. He now is invested because he has a family member there. What did you think?
I thought that was an interesting way. Remember when we talked about this book, there were so many different moving parts.
Yes.
And so I understand that they had to trim it back to make it make sense. And I feel like I'm still kind of confused because I've got the 5 different things and I'm trying to remember which one actually happened and what didn't. But I think it was good to make him invested in it. It also changed the entire plot because our Thursday Murder Club is trying to save Cooper's Chase. And that wasn't their goal.
No, that wasn't their goal. And I mean, that does change a lot. All right, speaking of Cooper's Chase, what did you think of that place?
That is not what I was picturing. I was not envisioning Downton Abbey. I was envisioning a modern subdivision with nice buildings, but not castles and stuff. What about you?
Well, I was laughing because I was thinking, if Ian's smart, he would keep this place. Imagine how much a month these people are paying. I mean, and they're here willingly and they love it here. Keep it. It probably is making you a lot of money. And so it was so beautiful. Not at all what I expected.
No, they kept the alpacas, so that was nice.
I envisioned them running free.
Me too, not in cages where they just were therapy animals.
Yes, and there was the vet and all, and I was like, that is not how I envisioned them. So,
well, we did. This is one thing. John was a veterinarian. We knew that, but it was him who was saying that he was the vet that took care of the alpacas, right? I did think it was interesting that we learned more and heard more from John.
Yes, that's true. I mean, because before in the book, we didn't really know much about him till the end.
No, he was literally a silent man in the corner who ended up being a murderer.
Yes, right. Right. I mean, and so it was kind of nice seeing him. And I know they needed to bring him in the movie a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. Big one for me. Bogdan.
Oh.
What did we think about the changes to Bogdan? Let's do just the character. Is that what you pictured as Bogdan?
No, not at all. He was way more warm in the movie than he was in the book, in my opinion. I saw him, like, when he was sitting down with Stephen, because it wasn't just like a one-time thing. It was like he was getting more invested. I saw him as a good person. And then changing the storyline of him wanting to go home to his mom and looking for his passport made me, like, almost feel sorry for him versus how he was killed, how things worked out in the book.
I don't know. I feel conflicted because I thought that he was warm-ish in the books even, because he did take the time to go and play chess, and like he developed this interesting friendship with Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. But I loved that he got away with it. And so when they arrested him, I was like, what? No way. Bogdan is like too cool for this. I also pictured him as a much bigger person and like gruffer. I don't know. Like, I just didn't picture him like that. He was a larger person, but not like big and beefy. Like, I was picturing like bodyguard, massive person who like doesn't take any crap. And in the movie, I felt like he was kind of a weenie. I don't know.
I mean, he was a great. I actually liked him. Like, I know I liked him in the book, but I feel like I liked him a little bit more in the movie.
Really? Man, I loved him in the book, and I loved that he confessed to Stephen, and it was just like his little secret, and nobody would ever tell. And in the movie, that's what got him arrested, that he confessed to Stephen, and he uses his little tape recorder all the time. Well, no, I didn't like that. Did not like that. Underlined.
Well, also, like, I'm curious, like, why did they change that? Because obviously, with the signifies of all these things, it looks like there's going to be another movie if this one does well. Mm-hmm. I mean, just even at the end when she put on the necklace, right? Mm-hmm. That, to me, that was a signal of like, oh, there's going to be another one. But like, why couldn't they have carried it on?
Well, right. Bogdan comes back. I told you in the second book, he's a very prevalent character. Yep. And so if he's arrested, how is that going to work?
I mean, they're going to have to get him off in some way. Like, he's going to be, I don't know, maybe because of him holding his passport or having reasons. Because he did say that he attacked him and he was defending himself. So there was more to it. But yeah, they're going to have to change again the storyline.
Yeah. Okay. I did want to say this movie is 2 hours long. It's PG-13. Why did we say it was rated PG-13, Sarah?
Because it's senior citizen and adult like content.
Yeah. That's what it says online. Senior citizen themes. I mean, adult content.
I mean, come on.
There really wasn't a whole lot in there that was questionable. I would think that my children could watch this.
Absolutely. I would recommend it to my mom, my grandma. I mean, it was enjoyable.
It does have a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes as we're recording this. So not certifiably fresh, but also not awful. So we talked about some of the successes when it comes to the casting. What about the vibes? Did you still feel like it was cozy and charming?
Yes, I did. I thought it was like real warm. What did you think?
I think it was still cozy, and I think that's probably why I fell asleep. It was just so cozy, and it wasn't like keeping me on the edge of my seat because I just felt comforted by it. So I think it tackled that one
right,
well.
And there was no intensity. Like, and I think that's maybe why I questioned, like, why is it rated PG-13? Because, yes, it does talk about murder, but it's not like insane amount of murder.
But it's not murder. It's just murder.
I mean, they're senior citizens out to try to solve a murder. Yes, you do see a couple photos of someone that's sprawled out with blood, but I don't know. I think it was great.
Well, right. There were a couple flashbacks, and you saw somebody come flying out a window. So there was a teeny bit of graphic. But, okay, so things that got cut from the plot. We talked about several of these, but Bernard is completely gone.
Turkish Gianni. Gone.
Gone. Father Mackey?
Gone.
I mean, he's in there, but his complete storyline is gone.
Right, because didn't he have under the bench, right? Like under that bench there was like another body and so that's all gone.
Right, there was another body.
Right.
Well,
or was it ashes? I can't remember exactly what. See, this is where I told you
right.
When I'm done reading it goes poof.
Well, they said that the bones because Father Mackey had the other nun's bones were somewhere.
Yes.
But then they had said that the person that Penny killed was the dead body, was the bones that they found that time. So, again, from the book, I was confused as to how many, because there was at least 4 bodies that we were trying to figure out.
Which, for me, remember how we talked about there was a lot of characters in the book. I realized that they honed in the Fab Four, as I'll call them, and so they really did a good job at trying to keep like the more important, but they did get rid of like we were saying, Bernard, Turkish Gianni, Father Mackey. He was there, but he was so insignificant, and his storyline just was taken out.
Yeah. The Bernard one is interesting to me. I understand why they would take it out, but then at the end, it looked like Joyce and Ibrahim were getting kind of cozy on the couch. In like the last scene, they were looking at each other's pictures. And it's like, oh, you were a handsome man.
I don't know.
Right?
Who knows?
I don't know either.
You've read book 2, not me, so.
Yeah, that isn't a thing. But it was interesting. I understand them taking out Bernard and his suicide. Like that was sad.
That was rough. It would have taken the notch of the movie down of being more of a somber, sad.
Right.
Versus like an I wouldn't call it upbeat, but there was some like humor and warmth and like a good feel-good fun. I don't know. Talking about murders.
Right. But that was our whole thing, is that this was a feel-good murder story. It's fine. We already talked about Joyce's voice. I got to be careful when I say that. Joyce's voices. That's what she wanted to call her journal, or like the magazine article, right?
Right.
And said it was Joyce's choices or something. I don't know. And so that was kind of sad. I missed that connection with Joyce. We did get to meet her daughter a couple times, and so we still got a little bit of her arc, but I missed some of that. So bring it back in the second movie, please. Elizabeth, we both enjoyed Elizabeth.
Right.
Do you think that she was the same in the book, in the movie, or do you think it was a little different?
I mean, a little bit different. I mean, I don't think she was as like, she was more morally gray, is the word I'll probably use in the book. And so like in the movie, I didn't even see her as being like this spy, but yet she was. And so, yes, there's that same history, but I didn't see her as the same person.
No, she was definitely, I don't know, like smarter and maybe more cunning in the books.
Boss woman.
Yes. I loved her for that. And so in this, I mean, she was still definitely their leader, but it didn't feel like she was pulling out spy tools or like her history of deduction and fun things.
I liked her, though.
Right. I still liked her. Some of the notes that I found online just showed that she was more of a charming grandma spy than like a cunning daredevil spy woman, which the book gave us. She was traveling all over the place and cracking down on bad guys and like doing all sorts of stuff.
Right, because they kept this local. Now in the book, it goes outside of the States. And so, all right, they're not in the States, but we're
country.
Yes, the country. And so they stayed local.
Right, because Chris had gone to Cyprus and the Turkish Gianni were trying to chase all of that down. But no, they stayed right here. And so that was a difference. The necklace you mentioned, that was not in the book at all. But I mean, that's a visual cue. I didn't see Elizabeth wearing one of the necklaces, so it seemed kind of weird to give, like, that Penny had one and to give Penny's.
Now, I watched it twice.
Okay.
The second time I watched it, in that scene, all 4 of them, you can see it from afar. I didn't notice it the first time.
Okay. So I was looking and I was like, how come she's the only one that has one then? But Okay.
Yeah, because remember Penny, she had hers, and then you see her give it to Joyce. And so I had to really look for it, though, because I was like, all right, it's got to be there. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. It's not like a signified, like a BFF, necklace that we both wear them.
Right.
Yeah.
I did think it was funny. Chris had a couple funny quotes, and one of them he called the Thursday Murder Club the Tuesday Death Society. Okay. That was a good one.
Well, it just showed how much he didn't care.
Right.
Like, it made him so mad. Do you remember the scene whenever Donna comes in and is like, they already investigated, and they realize that he couldn't have made it back. And he's like, I've got a whole team working on this. And then when they come in, he's like, just tell me.
Yes or no. Which was the exact same thing that Elizabeth had done with Ibrahim. Like, just tell me, could he or could he not have done this?
I loved him driving so slow. It just was like, this is hilarious. Because then again, it reminded me that they are senior citizens.
But he had his very calculated algorithm that he was testing. And so Elizabeth was just in the back going crazy, which I totally understand.
I would have been like, can we go a tiny bit faster?
The goal is to see how fast we could do it. Yes, I really enjoyed that. There was one other quote from him that I enjoyed just because it took me back. Chris said, "The murderer is the last person to see them alive, not the first person to see them dead." I got that from an old episode of Columbo. Have you ever watched Columbo?
No.
Okay. Well, it is a hysterical old dude, detective, a private investigator solving cases like this, and that just took me back. I used to watch that with my parents all the time, and Columbo was a very comical person, so that was a fun little...
You're like, I enjoyed that little bit.
Yes. Bogdan, I kind of ranted about in the book. He's cold, he's calculated, and he gets away with it. In the movie, he's desperate and arrested, and the notes that I found showed that fans are not happy. I am among fans.
Because it changes things, right?
Yeah.
Again, it's like, I just wonder, like, why they changed it that much. Because it changes it a lot. Because, like you said, in the next book, he's a character. Mm-hmm. And so how's it going to play? That they first have to start out with, he's just free? No, they're going to have to show why or how.
Or get another person, invent a new one.
Then would change the story even more.
Yeah, I did not like that. The book, we kind of eased in, and in the movie, we are plopped right down in the middle of them solving this case. Although I don't know that we are eased in the book, because I feel like they are. The first thing was Elizabeth asking Joyce about stab wounds.
Right. Well, and that was done differently because they came, she was showing her daughter around, and they like saw them.
I thought it was cute.
I do too. It was just different.
Yeah.
And so I almost feel like it was more in the book jumped in than the movie.
Right. That was page 1.
Yeah. And so I know these are, some good reviews, but I really felt like, to me, the book jumped in more than the movie.
Okay, so if we want to debate, I mean, is it important or not? I mean, was it cozy tea and biscuits, or was it more thriller?
I saw a little bit more thriller. I mean, it wasn't like my type of type of thriller. But if you had to add in the mix of like elderly people, it hit the spot.
Yeah. Do you, there were parts of it that I really enjoyed it as a standalone. When you look at it, I mean, I'm almost always a book loyalist. When it comes to this, there's so much more depth in the book than you can get. But I think that people who tune in or just see this on the trending movies, I mean, it's in the top 10 on Netflix right now when you go and look. So, like, if you're just looking for something to fall asleep to, this is a good one to fall asleep to. I can vouch for that. I did it twice. But it is cozy.
Yeah.
And I think that is sometimes a different pace that we could use in our lives. And we don't need the thriller. We don't need something that's going to keep us up or on the edge of our seats. I didn't like the creepy stalker dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know where that was going. At first, I thought that was like a figment of her imagination. I didn't even think that person was real.
Well, I was confused about that when it just shows how much she's like, okay, he's following me and runs into the cemetery. That's the last place I would run to. I mean,
just call me back in a couple minutes.
I'd be like, stay
on the phone.
Yes.
She's on the phone with a police officer. What?
I mean, it just shows that she doesn't, again, boss woman, she doesn't care. And she's probably also like at the thought of like, I'm old enough, go ahead.
Right. Yeah. I just didn't understand. And then that ended up being one of the florist dudes. What's his name? Robert?
He works for him.
Tanner. Yeah. Bobby Tanner's henchman. Like that whole plot. I just was confused. And maybe that's because the book was confusing, and so then they tried to simplify it.
Yeah,
and I wasn't following.
Did you like that she could find him? I mean, the likelihood of her finding him over everybody else. I mean, that he works at a florist, and how did nobody else?
Well, that was in the book, wasn't it? That they were able to track down this person, and he did work at a flower shop, but that was like a front for
right.
No,
he's actually sitting there.
Oh, you're actually a florist?
Yes. Like that does change a little bit. Like he's sitting there cutting the roses.
I mean, he's got blood everywhere. That was creepy.
That was gross.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was like wiping his hands off and then like shook her hand or something at the end. It was like, okay, that's weird. I don't like that.
So did you feel like they did a good job? Like in the portraying of the book versus, in that?
I think they did a solid job. I think they did have their work cut out for them in having to simplify this because there were 4 different cases that needed to be kind of melded into 2, I think is what we got it down to, maybe. So, I mean, I think they did a decent job. Like I said, I think it's a good standalone. It's definitely not capturing everything from the book, but it was still very fun. And I think if you take it for what it is, this like star-studded cast, I mean, it is not a true blockbuster, but I think it is enjoyable for sure.
Yes.
I would recommend people watch it.
Absolutely. I would say the book has more layers. I mean, like pun intended, more like a jigsaw puzzle, right? And so that there was more pieces. So they took like 1,000-piece puzzle down to like 100-piece puzzle because they had to for time and for cinema, and they needed to take it down. But I think they did do a good job.
Or they took one of Joyce's 7-layer cakes and brought it down to like 3.
Did you still look at her baking? Is it what you thought it was?
I mean, I feel like she made a lot of cakes. And I liked that Ron was like, remember your ABCs, always bring cake. I was like, all right, I like that. I appreciated it. I did laugh when they mentioned the one that had all the rum in it. I was like, you might want to let her drive. That one has a lot of rum. He was like, oh, okay. But yes, I loved the baking. That needed to happen, so I'm glad. I wish there was maybe a little more variety and that she had done like different types of pastries or things. Did I miss that? Or
didn't she do more different types in the book?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. And so to me, she just made cakes in the movie.
I mean, if you're a good baker, live it up. You bring treats to everything. I'm here for it.
You're always signed up for dessert.
Yes. One of the moments that I thought was really cute was at the beginning when Joyce and Elizabeth are trying to go into the police office to see Donna, and they pretend to be nuns. Or Joyce at the last minute is like, she's a nun.
I loved that.
I loved that scene. And then you have Helen Mirren like turning like, I wish I would have thought of that. That was great. But I loved that scene. And even as they're in the room and Joyce keeps pushing the button or like on the recording or like she's seen a lot of these shows is what it felt like. And she's like, for the sake of the recording, let the record state, Donna is attempting to hide a smile. Like, the recording isn't going, Joyce. Oh, okay.
It was cute. It was a cute moment. Actually, a part of that, my favorite, was when they're in the bus riding back, and she's like, "What does WTF stand for?" And then she just blurts it out, like, and that little kid and the mom like, "What?"
Yes. So there's a lot of, well, maybe that's where it's PG-13. We got an F-bomb in there.
One.
So.
There's one.
Well, I think she says it 3 times.
I guess I don't like. It's sad that nowadays movies and shows just have us like almost
Desensitized to it.
Yeah, we're numb to it all. Like it doesn't even faze us. So that's probably why I question like, why is it rated PG-13 compared to what's on TV today?
Right. There probably was more language between like Ian Bentham. I feel like Ron might have had a couple, and Jason. Yeah. I don't know.
I know their fight. There might have been some back and forth between Ian and Tony. So
I also, with Jason, he was supposed to be a really bad ice skater, and that one wasn't going to really work out well for him. In the book, like, he was awful and could barely stand up on ice. And we got to see that clip of Dancers on Ice or whatever that show was.
It was so good.
It's awesome.
I mean, yeah.
I'm like still singing the song. It's stuck in my head.
I like that. And actually, I think this is what really, speaking of Ron, the moment that made me realize like he wasn't what I expected him to be was when he was in the pool doing water aerobics. I was like, that is not the Ron that I expected at all. And so
that was cute though. Get out of the pool.
I mean, it was great, but I was like, okay.
He's taken advantage of all of the retirement village life amenities. That was amazing.
If and shall I ever go to a place, that's where I want to be.
Yes.
It might be like, I don't know, $20,000 a month. It is insane. It's gorgeous, but insane.
Okay, so I would like to hear feedback from our listeners. So, are you team movie or are you team book? Did you enjoy the vibes? Did you like the casting? We're going to have lots of questions on our Instagram page. If you want to email us, you can always give us feedback there or comment on Spotify, on Apple. I'm pretty sure you can do that. You can definitely leave comments on our YouTube episodes. We are in all of those places. So Approachable Podcast.
I really am very curious about our listeners' feeling of the characters and what character was their favorite. Why? What did we miss? Because there's so much in books and in movies that we do miss. And so I love when I'm able to read a comment and go, wow, I missed that completely. That was such a good point. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear and read all them.
I've also been adding a lot of polls to our Spotify episodes because those are fun. So there's typically a question on there. There's usually like 2 answers that you can pick between. It's usually a Sarah and a Jamie. Like, what do you think? Are you still a fan of Elizabeth or are you still a fan of Joyce? Something like that. I'll come up with a good question for this one.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
We also want to know, do you like episodes like this? Because a lot of our books are being turned into movies. Should we do more of these? I thought it was fun.
I did too. And I think what's good for this too is maybe we have some listeners that don't read, but they will watch the movie. And so it's probably, I would imagine it'd be fun to like hear what's the difference in the book without having to read the whole book.
That's true.
So
I like that.
Yeah. And that's easy. It's a good book and it's a good movie. So.
All right. Well, drop us your comments. Would you rather curl up with Osmond's words or stream the star-studded version?
Oh. I'll take both.
Right? Any day. Any day. We like it all. And really, what it comes down to is if you enjoyed our breakdown of this, share this episode with a friend. We are always trying to reach more ears. And so if you know somebody who watched the movie, you've chatted about it already, send them our way. Maybe they'll listen to the book, our TLDR episode, or our cover-to-cover episode, or just this one where we're talking about the book and the things they may have missed by not reading the book.
Yeah, and I think that that is a great place to be. So we want to hear from you guys and share that episode. And remember, friends, keep reading.
Keep ranting.
And remember, you're so approachable. Okay, the episode is over. If you enjoyed it, could you give us a thumbs up or leave a review?
It goes a long way toward helping us grow and meet new people like you.
Subscribe to get notified when the next episode drops.
You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see what we're reading next, recommend new books, and join the conversation.
We're so excited to have you on board.
3, 2, 1. I don't even know what I'm saying.
I was ready.
This week we are back to do Thursday Murder Club. Sure. 3, 2, 1.